Client wants us to create a design exactly like their ugly PowerPoint. We comply. As a designer, I try to educate my clients on design and why something has to be done a certain way. My agency is not cheap, so we make it quite clear that they are paying for our experience and knowledge, not some Photoshop monk. Most of the time, my clients are appreciative and enjoy the extra guidance and professional advice. Occasionally, we get fun jobs. The sales pitch went well enough. The business owner, Bob, seemed like a decent guy and happy to trust our professional expertise. However, shortly after signing the deal, he brought on a new manager, Karen, who was put in charge of marketing, including the new website we were just contracted to do. It quickly became clear that Karen thought of herself as a multidisciplinary genius and despises us because she thinks she can do better than a professional design agent. Karen loves sending over incomprehensible design instructions and feedback in the form of design mock-ups she creates in PowerPoint. They as ugly as the devil's butthole after a strong curry, but we try our best to translate the abominations she birthed into good-looking professional design proposals that best reflects the intent of her idea. Karen did not like it one bit. Karen was rude, uncooperative, and removed Bob from the email threads when we tried to reach out to him to get his opinion. When we sent over a design, she would bitch about how it wasn't what she wanted, and scream over the phone while our team patiently explained why we couldn't design exactly as she wanted. Mainly, it would be ugly as heck and nobody would want to do business with them with a website like that. The last time Karen bitched about how we were stupid morons for not doing what she wanted, we got her on the phone with Bob. She was screaming incomprehensibly and nobody got a word in. Finally, Bob took her side and said Karen is extremely experienced and knows what she's doing. I want your team to follow every instruction, exactly as she asks. No problem. Once again, Karen sent over a ridiculous 70 MB PowerPoint. If we followed it exactly, it would look like a website from the 90s with the worst UX ever. We went through every little pixel of her PPT, asking her, so do you want us to copy this exactly? To which she would reply with a smug, yes. So we documented her instructions down to the letter to cover our asses. Once again, we asked Bob, are you sure? Reply, yes, please hurry up and make those changes exactly as she asked. Okie dokie. We copied every ugly font choice, every terrible gradient, every hideous element into the design. We even went the extra mile to export the ugly lopsided shapes she drew as ping graphics, so it would all be exactly as she wanted. Then we sent the design over. Here is the design, we have done everything exactly as instructed. Karen once again replied, taking Bob out of the loop, perfect. Now, it wasn't so hard to do things exactly as I asked, was it? We waited. Bob exploded, demanding a meeting the very next day to explain why we were delivering such shoddy work. We go to the meeting and Karen starts demanding that we propose a completely new design. We presented all past designs, the document in which Karen confirmed that she wanted all the changes, the countless emails in which we painstakingly explained to her why her ideas suck, and finally, the last email in which she praised. You see, Bob, after our last call with you, we had followed Karen's instructions to the letter, exactly as she had asked. She seemed very happy with it. I am confused, why the quick change of heart? I then pull out the contract and calmly point out the portion which stated the number of design proposals we would create. Karen had used up all of it. I had reminded her that she was limited to X number of proposals, but she clearly didn't remember any of it because she didn't bother reading our emails, and would keep talking or yelling over us when she spoke on the phone. I looked Bob in the eye and told him he could either pay extra for each additional new proposal Karen wants, or choose from the existing designs. They ask for some time to discuss privately. We break for coffee. Well, Karen is extremely experienced in this field. We will go with the last design since it is exactly as she wanted. Even my intern couldn't hold back his surprise. As we drive back to the office, he asks, is Karen sleeping with Bob or something? Why does she have him by the balls like that? I shrug. It's his business, and we're getting paid anyway, and he clearly doesn't appreciate our design expertise after all. The less time we spend arguing with them, the more time we could use to focus on my appreciative, good clients. We make Bob and Karen sign off on the design, and finish up the project quickly. Karen still tries to be difficult, but we stick to the contracted terms and she couldn't do anything. 2 months after the project ended, I get a call from Bob. He began with some small talk about innocuous project-related business, but I realized it wasn't the purpose of his call. Karen had been fired after making more serious mistakes causing major losses to his company. He sounded contrite, but did not offer any real apology. That's terrible, Bob. I'm so shocked. I thought Karen was extremely experienced and knew what she was doing. Edit. Sorry guys. As much as I would love to show you the site or Karen's presentations, I'm afraid I must keep things anonymous. You'll have to trust that it looks every bit terrible and outdated as a website designed by a Karen could be. We did not put our company name in the footer, and it is obviously not included in my company's portfolio. Now to the comments. Did Karen's proposal have random unrelated animated GIFs, or maybe that flame one everyone used on GeoCities back in the day? Was the dancing baby GIF included? OP replied. She made liberal use of PowerPoint's artistic effects for every photo. You know, the ones which would make your photo look like chalk drawings. Also drop shadows, gradients, emboss effects, all applied at the same time. At the point, I would not be surprised if I found the animated flame or one of those counter graphics somewhere in her PPT. Oh no. This is so much like my job. I work in big corporate, on the other side of the table from OP, and it's full of incompetent managers like this. Also, no offense, OP, not directed towards you, it's full of scammy agencies who charge crazy rates for subpar delivery. OP replied, yes. We're sometimes contacted by companies looking to get someone to fix shoddy jobs done by fly-by-night agencies. It's usually in such a mess that it would be cheaper to throw away the whole thing and start from scratch. You have no idea how much money we're wasting. I think you need to add to your contract that abusive behavior will result in the termination of the contract without refund. OP replied, it was added quickly to all our new contract templates after this experience. Smile. Well, at least something good came out of it. Would have loved to get confirmation about the possible fraternizing, I think that's the word Ike, with Bob and Karen though, but you guys adding that the new contracts is just as great. That's terrible, Bob. I'm so shocked. I thought Karen was extremely experienced and knew what she was doing. Jesus, talk about rubbing salt and lemon juice into the wound. I laughed. Too bad, Bob. You reap what you sow. Lol. He sowed a Karen and reaped contempt. I would love to see this website. For scientific purposes. Epico. As a graphic designer, this is a most wonderful tale. As an architect, the story sounds amazing. As a reader, it was entertaining. OP replied, I know you have to protect yourself, but I really wish I could see this eyesore. Well, Terry's always the official Space Jam website, although I think they've kept it as is for meme/historical reasons. Give it credit that it was also made in 1996. R/clients from hell. R/crappy design. R/duck you Karen. I left a job, designing annual reports, that was exactly like this. Their account managers were complete pushovers, so whatever the client wanted, they got. I had a wealth of knowledge and experience that just wasn't ever used, as if the client didn't get exactly what they'd drawn on a scrap of paper. PowerPoints were pretty good too, they'd throw a fit. Didn't last long there. Love these people that employ you, but think they know better on all accounts anyway. I've literally just changed the size of the slide to a standard print size, and PDF it back to them. Let them enjoy PowerPoint gradients and 1980s blocky drop shadows. As a designer myself, this is both my dream and my nightmare. I hated reading every word but couldn't look away. Amazing. What was the follow-up? Did you need to rework Karen's project into something passable, or was Bob happier to nuke it from orbit and go with an earlier design, Precare? OP replied, no. At the end of the meeting, Bob decided he would go with the bad design we maliciously complied with. I thought he was going along with the malicious compliance as a 4D chess move to get rid of Karen, but it seemed that he was honestly convinced by whatever Karen claims she knew best. We didn't have to rework it, only some minor details which were or out of scope or technically impossible for a website. When he called me, I thought he wanted to ask for a rework, but he didn't. He wanted to just talk about how bad Karen was, but did not offer an apology for the trouble he put us through and or Karen's verbal abuse. So I left it at that and he awkwardly hung up. Last I checked, the hideous website was still up. Seen many a dodgy website. Some look like they were designed in 2003 and left for 17 years with only the pictures being updated.